Okay, Pops.
Yeah.
A couple weeks ago, we had a memo from Ford telling their dealer groups, hey, please treat your customers more nicely. This week, we have a memo from General Motors.
Yes.
Steve Carlisle, the president of GM North America.
Yes.
Sending out a memo to all GM dealerships saying,
Hey, you too. You got to treat your customers more nicely.
is this becoming a trend? Let's break down the memos and talk
Perhaps,
about it.
but I'm thinking we're probably going to get a memo from our audience saying that Steve's last name is really Carlisle, but we like to say Carlisle.
So is this the beginning of the end of the dealership model? The Ford memo talked about, hey, you can't ask for double reservations or triple reservations on the F-150 Lightning. You can't mark up the prices too terribly high. You know, customers...
No. They did not say that you can't.
The GM one does.
They didn't say that you can't mark up the prices because they can't control that.
That's true.
Okay?
The GM one, though, they actually put we'll put it up on the screen. Like, they have a cutout here of an addendum label that shows $25,000 in market adjustment, and they're chastising that. The Ford one didn't have any window stickers printed out on it. But yes, you're right. The Ford one, it was just like, don't.
They're basically it's lip service for customers. So that these major manufacturers seem like they're on the customer's side when they're chastising their dealer body about some of their business practices. Business practices that have been around, I don't know, since the beginning of time, that they very rarely ever chastise their dealer body about.
Yeah. Which is why I think there's like a change in the wind. There's a wind in the change.
There's wind in my sails, ladies and gentlemen, and God knows where I'm off to.
But seriously, both of these memos talk about how in the franchise dealership agreements that they have with the OEM, the original equipment manufacturer, it essentially says things like, let me see it. It says it right here. Dealer agrees to effectively, ethically, and lawfully sell and promote the purchase, lease, and use of products by consumers.
Okay, now, here, stop right there. Define ethically and lawfully. Define it. What? Where? What's the definition for that?
Here we go.
Do you think that wouldn't get argued by an attorney in court?
Dealers still continue to work with brokers despite the following. So the GM will talk about
they don't
not
want them
working
to
with
sell to
brokers.
brokers. Okay. Well, truth be told, I don't know why dealers ever sell to brokers. They're selling to their competition. Why do you want to sell to your competition?
Providing customers misinformation about additional sums being necessary for a customer to keep a reservation is just one example of a tactic that reflects poorly on all of us. See, they're saying that makes us look bad.
Okay, but there's nothing they can do about it. Okay, or if there is, they usually choose not to.
GM will be forced to take action if it learns of any unethical sales practices or brokering activities that undermine the integrity that customers expect from the Chevrolet, Buick, GMC, and Cadillac
I'll say
brands.
it again. The customers don't expect.
This letter serves as notice that GM reserves the right to redirect your vehicle allocation or take other recourse prescribed by the, quote, dealer sales and service agreement. That's the same thing the Ford one talked about, taking away F-150 Lightning.
Oh, yeah, let them try. Let them try. How many years do you think that litigation would last before it's resolved in one way or another?
A while.
Long enough that it wouldn't matter.
And it's interesting because there's more consolidation of dealerships. So like AutoNation, Penske's, Lithia's, Asbury's, like they own hundreds of dealerships. There's fewer and fewer mom and pops.
Yes.
Do you really feel like GM's going to go up to battle against AutoNation? No.
Probably not.
That'd be so expensive.
Yeah,
So what's the point of this? What is the point of the GM memos?
It looks good to the buying public. They're trying to create an image that they're the champions of the buying public, when in fact they're not. They're manufacturers of vehicles. That's all they are. Trust me, over the years that I've spent in the retail side of the business, when manufacturers had an opportunity to do the things that they ask their dealers to do when it comes to taking care of a customer, manufacturers typically pass. Okay? Do the right thing, they're not interested. Okay? Is it financially expedient for them to do it? If it's not, they're not doing it. Okay? This is the perfect example of how manufacturers such as Ford, General Motors, Stellantis, all of them will talk out of both sides of their mouth.
Yeah.
They'll tell the dealers to do one thing, they'll say something else to the customers. It's just publicity. It's a PR stunt.
You really think so? I feel like it's the first time. I've been doing this with you for 2 years now.
Yes.
Okay, you've got 45 years or whatever, but I got
Okay.
2. This is the first time I've seen memos, which feel very
Memos.
They feel very
Memos.
authoritative.
Oh my God, the authoritative memos.
Right, but it's like pushing back against the dealer body, and I think when you look at the stock market, like it makes sense.
And the other reason the manufacturers do this is to placate the dealers that don't operate like this and complain about the dealers that do operate like that. So this is a way to make it look good to the public, and it's a way to try and placate the dealers that are pissed off at the rest of the dealers that don't play by the same rules.
So you don't think the end of car dealerships is anywhere anytime soon?
Pardon me?
Gotcha.
I don't think this is the end of car dealerships anytime soon.
Yeah,
No.
but I feel like
Is it a start?
Is it a start?
Sure, you got time. You got more time than I do. You know, you might see some drastic changes in your lifetime.
Yeah.
You know, I might see another 10 or 12 memos in my lifetime.
I feel like between Ford doing it, I wonder if GM saw the Ford one and was like, oh, we should send something out like that.
Of course.
Too. Really?
Of course. And you know, there are good dealers. There are dealers that actually do play by the rules that are set up by the manufacturers.
Yeah.
And they're annoyed by the dealers that don't. And they're also annoyed by the fact that the manufacturers selectively, randomly choose to punish these dealers. Okay, typically they never do. And so that's all this is to try and make the customers and the good dealers feel better about what's going on.
I'm going to read again. First, I want to remind you that GM dealers are obligated to ethically and lawfully sell GM products.
Define ethically and
As
lawfully.
stated in Article 5 of the Dealer Sales and Service Agreement, dealer agrees to advertise and conduct promotional activities that are lawful and enhance the reputation of the dealer, General Motors, and its products.
First of all, the public doesn't expect the dealers to do anything that enhance.
Dealer will not advertise or conduct promotional activities in a misleading or unethical manner.
Well, then
or
they'd
that
stop
is
selling cars
harmful,
altogether.
To the reputation. It was funny in here, in this one, in the GM one, and also in the Ford one, they talk about how, although it is a small minority of dealerships that are practicing these behaviors, and you're sitting here and you're like, no, the small minority are the ones that aren't practicing those
Exactly.
behaviors. Yeah.
Yes. So they're trying to placate those folks. That's all. And this is they're really not going to put their foot down. I mean,
what do you make of it?
Here, I'll give you a perfect example. You know, many years ago, long before you were born, okay, long before you were born, I got out of the car business and I opened up a golf shop in Mesa, Arizona, Golf USA franchise. I sold Titleist golf balls, and my Titleist rep told me that they do not sell directly to mass marketers like Costco, Dick's Sporting Goods, all the others. And I said, well, how do they get all those thousands upon thousands of dozens of your golf balls? Oh, well, we don't know. Really? Do you think for their stockholders are going to say, you know, we could sell an extra $30 million worth of golf balls, but we're not?
No, I hear you.
Okay? We wouldn't do that. To Dick's Sporting Goods and all the others, yeah, place your orders right here, folks.
We do have in certain states, though, for example, Connecticut, they have carve-out language. I think there's 14 states that have carve-out language that allow dealerships, that allow OEMs to sell directly to consumers instead of having to go through the dealership. So there is a bit of a push for that happening as well. And that, if that changes, that'll be a big breakthrough, and that'll force the change from the current dealership model.
Trust me, most of the manufacturers do not want to be in the direct-to-customer retail business, because then they'd also have to be in the direct-to-customer service business. They're not looking to do that either. They just want to manufacture the damn vehicles and wholesale them to their dealers and be done with it.
Fair enough.
I'm sorry. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen.